Well, I was shut down. I was shut down by the BBC for pulling up a video from 2019. We were just watching the 2019 then Prince Andrew interview, and they copyright struck me and shut me down. So fuck that. We're going to continue, and I'm going to try to get through this. And I've already written a copyright strike appeal, and we're going to see. I want my stream back. That was a great stream, and I have every right to do what we're doing here. I'm providing commentary. I'm providing for educational purposes. I can do this. This is under fair use. So I'm going to hit them, and they hit me with a copyright strike. The stream has been blocked. It cannot be shown. And it's crazy because it's the particular subject. I'm telling you, that's what it is. And they just don't want people talking about this, and they don't want people scrutinizing things. But we're going to go over it. And I'm going to fuck that. We're going to do part 2 here. I got another 20 minutes of the video. Hey, if they shut me down this time, then I'm shut down, and then we'll come back, and we'll just come back stronger than ever. We'll provide better, some more content here, but they struck me. Yeah. I mean, they struck me, they shut me down, and I'm not going to be shut down. We're going to talk about this, and I'm going to do it again. And listen, if this time we do, then, I'm not going to keep trying to spark this thing up, but I want my stream back. That was a good stream, and it was educational, and we were breaking things down. And I don't care, Julia. They're not going to censor me. They're not going to shut me down. I'm going to talk about this. This needs to be out there in the open. There's not enough people talking about it. And I urge people that have YouTube channels, get out there and talk about this. No one's doing it. I'm only seeing it all over X. I haven't seen anything. I was at the gym today, and there's, the 19 million screens that are up on the TV, in the gym. I didn't see one thing this morning about the Epstein files. And I talked about this earlier on the show that I just did that got shut down. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're a CEO of a company. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care. If your name has been brought up in these files, and there are very strong allegations with ties to you, to Jeffrey Epstein, then you have a lot of questions to be answered for these victims. And if it is found that you were involved in any criminal activity, then you need to go to trial, and you need to be put away, and you need to be never dealt with ever again. So we're going to bring this back up. We're going to keep rolling through this. It is absolute BS. And, look, I want to get through this interview. We're going to try to get through it. So I'm going to bring it back up. I appreciate everybody jumping back in here. And yeah, they just shut me down, silenced me, cut the stream, copyright strike. Let's see. News stations will have an auto strike thing. Emily D. Baker is dealing with it. Yeah, I'm not going to be silenced. We're going to talk about this. And I don't care. What I was doing is under fair use. It's under fair use. We were just playing like clips from CBS, one of the biggest networks in the world, and they didn't shut me down. But I go over to the BBC, and we're just pulling an interview up of Prince Andrew, and I was stopping and pausing and commentating, and they're going to shut me down? No. So we're going to try it again. Let's see. The Queen. The Queen says, let's see. Yeah, I'm not, believe me, they're not going to silence me. Other YouTubers have used the same interview for body language videos. The copyright is BS. Let's see. Ames says, sounds like they're censoring. What are they afraid of? It's because the president say people should move on from the Epstein matter? Well, I ain't moving on. We're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep talking about it. Kcon says, you must keep publicizing these sick Fs. We got your back. Thank you. And if this is the first time over here, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, I want that stream back. That was a great stream. It was very informative. Thank you so much. It is typical BBC behavior. 100% this needs to be talked about. 100%. All right, so let's do this. Let's try to do this. This is kind of like part 2. We got about 20 more minutes in this video, and I'm going to do it. And it may get copyright strike. I might get shut down, but I appreciate everybody checking this out live. We're going to go through it. And I'm just going to put appeals. I'm going to appeal this, and I'm going to fight it, and I'm not going to let them shut me down. We are going to talk about this stuff. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is informative. This is what we need to do. We need to keep talking about this. Yeah, I mean, I can put it back. I can put it up on X, but I want it here. This is my home base. YouTube is my home base. Thank you, Alexandra. All right, let's keep going through this. I'm going to warn everybody. I may get shut down. If I get shut down, my next show will be on Sunday. We're going to come back on Sunday. So, all right, let's go back to Prince Andrew. We're about another 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes in this. We're going to try. Here we go.
Well, here's the problem. I've never seen Epstein with a camera in my life.
And they're probably already on
Roberts' camera. She said a little Kodak one that she lent to Epstein. He took a photo, and your arm is round her waist.
I don't remember.
Wow, you see that glitch coming after me already.
That photograph ever being taken. I don't remember going upstairs in the house, because that photograph is taken upstairs.
We're talking about Virginia Giuffre. That's what we're talking about. The photograph here is where we left off, and I got cut off on my stream. But we're asking the questions here of his relationship with Virginia, and he's like, I just don't remember taking that photograph at all. I mean, it could be me. I don't know. I can't remember. It's a photograph of a photograph of a photograph. All right, bro.
And I'm not entirely convinced that, I mean, that is what I would describe as me in that picture. But we can't be certain as to whether or not that's my hand on her, whatever it is, left side.
You think that...
Because I have no recollection of that photograph ever being taken.
So why would somebody have put in another hand? You think it is you next to her in the photo? Oh,
it's definitely me. I mean, that's a picture of me. It's not a picture of, I don't believe it's a picture of me in London, because when I go out in London, I wear a suit and a tie. That's what I would describe as those are my traveling clothes if I'm going overseas. So I've got plenty of photographs of me.
Yeah, we got to that. We got to that part. We says, "Oh my God, I don't sweat." I'm like, come on, bro.
Dressed in those sorts of sort of kit, but not there.
Just to clarify, so you think that photo has been faked?
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever being taken.
And you don't recollect having your hand round her waist in Ghislaine Maxwell's house on any occasion, even if it was a different date?
I'm sorry, but if I, as a member of the royal family, and I have a photograph taken, and I take very, very few photographs, I am not one to, as it were, hug, and public displays of affection are not something that I do.
God, stop, bro.
So
look at her looking at him.
I can give you.
She's like, "What the fuck are you saying here right now? Like, what the fuck are you saying?" She's like, "Are you serious with this shit right now?" That's her react. Are you serious with this shit right now?
And I'm afraid to say that I don't believe that photograph was taken in the way that has been suggested.
Why would people not believe that you were there?
I'm sorry, why would...
I'm just trying to understand. There's a photo inside Ghislaine Maxwell's house. Ghislaine herself is in the background. Why would people not believe that you were there with her that night?
They might well wish to believe it, but the photograph is taken upstairs, and I don't think I ever went upstairs in Ghislaine's house.
You're sure of that?
Yeah, because the dining room and everything was on the ground floor. It was as you came in the hall. So I don't remember ever going up there. I'm at a loss to explain this particular photograph. If the original was ever produced, then perhaps we might be able to solve it. But I can't.
You can say categorically that you don't recall meeting Virginia Roberts, dining with her,
Yep.
dancing with her at Tramp.
You did.
Going on to have sex with
yes,
her
I did.
Yes.
in a bedroom
Yes, I
in a
did.
house in Belgravia.
Yep, I did.
I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened.
It
Do you
did
recall
happen.
any kind of sexual contact with Virginia Roberts then
None.
or any other time?
did.
None whatsoever.
Because she said in a legal deposition, a legal court document in 2015, she had sex with you 3 times.
Right. And then why the civil suit settlement in 2022, sir? And I realize this is from 2019, if you're just coming in. This is from 2019, but why the civil settlement in 2022? Can you explain that? I'd love to get him back and get another interview like this. And I love this interview because she's just hitting him with tough questions and just not letting him slip over and over again. She's getting him.
Not confused about this. She said the first was in London when she was trafficked to you. The second was at Epstein's mansion in New York.
That is a date in April, I believe. Is that correct?
She said it was a month or so later.
Yeah. Well, I think that the date that we have for that shows that I was in Boston, or I was in New York the previous day, and I was at a dinner for the Outward Bound Trust in New York, and then I flew up to Boston the following day. And then on the day that she says that this occurred, they'd already left.
She's writing on her pad, bullshit. Bullshit. Oh, bullshit. Oh, really? Bullshit. That's her notes. Bullshit.
To go to the island before I got back from Boston. So I don't think that could have happened at all.
There was a witness there, Johanna Stolberg, who says that you did visit the house in that month.
I probably did. I don't think.
Excuse me?
One of the weird things, I was staying with the because of what I was doing. I was staying with the Consul General, which is further down the street on Fifth. So I wasn't staying there. I may have visited, but no, definitely no activity.
Because
And it's funny, earlier in the first video, they got blocked by the BBC and taken down in copyright strike. We were talking about, he said, oh, I went to see Giuffre in 2010. I stayed at his New York townhouse. I was in there and it was hanging out and I saw people coming and going and I saw Ghislaine there, but I didn't really interact or really talk with Giuffre. I was just kind of coming and going. Bullshit. He was there. You were interacting with him. You went there to talk to him in 2010 to pull him aside. Like, hey, I know you just did some prison time here. Are you gonna roll over on me too? That was the conversation. That was the conversation in 2010. Hey, I know the FBI is probably watching, but can you do me a favor? You ever get caught up in something? Don't roll over on me. That's the conversation they were having. All right, here we go.
Deposition, 2015. She said she had sex with you 3 times. Once in a London house when she was trafficked to you in Maxwell's house.
Yes.
Once in New York a month or so
New
later
York?
at Epstein's mansion.
Yeah.
And once on his private island in a group of 7 or 8 other girls.
Really?
No.
No to all of it.
All of it.
Nah,
Absolutely no.
that's
to all of it.
rubbish.
Why would she be saying those things?
We
Fantasy.
wonder exactly the same, but I have no idea.
This is
Absolutely no idea.
She
It's a
made these
fantasy.
claims in a US deposition.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying you don't believe her? She's lying.
That's a very difficult thing to answer because I'm not in a position to know what she's trying to achieve. But I can tell you categorically, I don't remember meeting her at all. I do not remember a photograph being taken. And I've said consistently and frequently that we never had any sort of sexual contact whatever.
She spoke about you outside the court in August of this year.
Mm-hmm.
She said,
nailing them
I quote,
questions.
he knows exactly what he's done and I hope he comes clean about it.
And the answer is nothing.
So if Virginia Roberts is watching this interview, what is your message to her?
I don't have a message for her because I have to have a thick skin. If somebody's going to make those sorts of allegations, then I've just got to have a thick skin and get on with it. But they never happened.
For the record, is there any way you could have had sex with that young woman or any young woman trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein in any of his residences?
No. and without putting too fine a point on it, if you're a man, it is a positive act to have sex with somebody. You have to take some sort of positive action. And so therefore, if you try to forget, it's very difficult to try and forget positive action. And I do not remember anything. I've racked my brain and thinking, oh, well, when the allegations came out.
I've racked my brain. I racked my brain. Come on, bro. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, hand to the face. I racked my brain. Ugh. Right. Extremely strange.
Originally, I went, that's a bit strange. I don't remember this. And then I've been through it and through it and through it over and over and over again. And no, nothing. Never happened.
Epstein's housekeeper, also in a Florida court legal deposition, said that you visited the Palm Beach residence around 4 times a year. You got a daily massage.
4 times a year?
That was what he said in a Florida court legal deposition.
No.
I'm just wondering, when you look back now, is there a chance that those massages might have been the services of someone who was being sexually exploited or trafficked by Epstein?
No. I don't think. I mean, no, definitely not. Definitely not. And I definitely did not visit.
I mean, this just gets worse. Like, go back and watch the first 20 minutes of this interview. It just keeps getting worse for him because she's laying it on him. She's not, 4 times a year. Oh, bollocks. Yeah. I mean, she's just laying it on him and not letting him walk at all. No softball questions here at all. I love it. Just keep cracking them. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go.
His Palm Beach house 3 or 4 times a year. Absolutely not.
How many times would you say you visited?
In total, probably 4 times in total throughout the time that I knew him. In fact, probably that was the place that if you see what I mean, he was in the house more there than in other places that I was.
So that's where you find him.
But it was usually because I was going through and on somewhere else. So it was a day. That was it.
You said in your statement from the palace, at no time did I see, witness, or suspect any suspicious behavior. Virginia Roberts' legal team says you could not spend time around Epstein and not know what was going on.
Right.
You could not spend time around Epstein and not know what was going on.
Really?
If you are somebody like me, then people behave in a subtly different way. You wouldn't, first of all, I'm not looking for it. That's the thing. Is
What? People like me? What are you saying? You're just like this elite class of person? How dare you question me?
If you're looking for it, then you might have suspected now, with the benefit of a huge amount of hindsight and a huge amount of analysis, you look back and you go, well, was that really the way that it was, or was I looking at it the wrong way? But you don't go into these places, you don't go to stay with people looking for that.
You could not spend time around him. That was what they said. You could not spend time around him and not know.
Look, the other aspect of this is that I live in an institution.
She's just like, dude, you can't play dumb on this. You can't play stupid. You had to have seen or known what is going on. Because you're involved in it. You are involved in it.
At Buckingham Palace, which has members of staff walking around all the time. And I don't wish to appear grand, but there were a lot of people who were walking around Jeffrey Epstein's house. As far as I was aware, they were staff. They were people that were working for him, doing things. As it were, I interacted with them, if you wanted to say good morning, good afternoon, but I didn't, if you see what I mean, interact with them in a way that was, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What's going on?
But you'd notice if there were hundreds of underage girls in Buckingham Palace, wouldn't you?
But you would notice if there were hundreds of underage girls in Jeffrey's house. Wasn't there. Not when I was there. Now, he may have changed his behavior patterns in order for that not to be obvious to me. So I don't, I mean, this is, you're asking me to speculate on things that I just don't know about.
You seem utterly convinced you're telling the truth. Would you be willing to testify or give a statement under oath if you were asked?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like everybody else, and I would have to take all the legal advice that there was before I was to do that sort of thing. But if Bush...
There you go, right there. That's it. That's the question that needed to be answered, and she got it. If you were to testify, would you testify under oath? I need all the legal advice. There it is. That's the soundbite you want from this interview. She got it. It took her, and again, these are all edited for time, but you're at 36 minutes and 50 seconds. She got it. Nope. I would have to take all the legal advice. Let's go back.
Have changed his...
Hundreds of underage girls in Buckingham Palace, wouldn't you?
Would you live for...
would you be willing to testify or give a statement under oath if you were asked?
Well, I'm like everybody else, and I would have to take all the legal advice that there was before I was to do that sort of thing. But if push came to shove and the legal advice was to do so, then I would be duty-bound to do so.
As you've said, there are many unanswered questions.
To do that sort of thing. But if push came to shove and the legal advice was to do so, then I would be duty-bound to do so.
Because you've said there are many unanswered questions. Yep. Everyone affected wants closure. You would help to provide that closure? If
in the right circumstances, yes, I would, because I think there's just as much closure for me as there is for everybody else.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, right. Black North, thank you so much for the cause from me and M. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. I got to meet you earlier on stream today. Thanks for coming over and supporting the stream. AV is such a good guy. Nice to meet you today, though. Awesome stuff. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I mean, you say legal advice? Did you say authorities? Did you say authorities? Legal, I have to get all the legal advice. All right, we're almost through it. About another 10 minutes. This one might actually stand up. BBC might not copyright strike me again. Hopefully we can get through it, because this has been a great stream with you guys so far. And I'm going to try to get back my other stream. I want my other stream. And then what I'm going to do, if I get it back and it's cleared, I'm going to splice them together and make one total video, and we'll upload it. But here we go.
And undoubtedly, some very strange and unpleasant activities have been going on. I'm afraid to say that I'm not the person who can shed light on it for a number of reasons. One of which is that I wasn't there long enough.
Oh, dude.
If you go in for a day, 2 days at a time, it's quite easy, I'm led to believe, for those sorts of people to hide their activities for that period of time and then carry on when you're not there.
Virginia Roberts' lawyers, legal team, say that they've asked for a legal statement from you. There is an active FBI investigation now. Would you be willing to provide that?
Again, I'm bound by what my legal advice is. Yeah. Legal advisors tell me.
Epstein was found dead.
Yep.
In prison.
Yes.
In August of this year.
Murdered.
What was your response on hearing that he'd died?
Shock.
Some people
said, "Are they coming for me?" That's why he's in shock. They're going to come for me.
That he didn't take his own life.
Well, there again, I'm not one to be able to answer that question. I believe that centers around something to do with a bone in his neck, as to whether or not.
You sure know a lot about it, don't you?
That bone breaks or something. But I'm afraid to say I'm not an expert. I have to take what the coroner says, and he has ruled that it was suicide.
Sure.
So,
he's dead. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, your old friend, was, victims say, complicit in his behaviour.
We gotcha.
Well, that bit I can't help you with because I have no idea.
Do you think that she has questions to answer about her role in this?
Well, in the same way that I have questions to answer, in the sense of what was I doing, and as I say, that I was there to my mind, be honourable and say to him, look, you've been convicted. It would be incompatible for me to be seen with you. Unfortunately, somebody was standing around with a camera at the time and got a photograph of us.
So I'm going to just pause this again and give a little bit of commentary. So earlier we were talking about this when it was brought up early in the interview. So if you're just coming in, Andrew took a trip into New York. He said he had to meet with Epstein because he basically had to say, like, we have to cut off our relationship, our friendship, because of, you know, he just had been convicted about a year or two prior to this. So they meet in New York. You couldn't call him on the phone. We said that he didn't feel that that was proper if you called him on the phone. So he couldn't call him on the phone, couldn't send him a video, couldn't send him a text message. How about this? You guys like emailing each other a lot. Couldn't send him an email and just say, hey, probably not going to hang out anymore. Gotta step away. FBI's looking in. No, I'm going to go there and hang out for 4 days in the house that supposedly he didn't see anything going on. He didn't see anybody coming and going. And he certainly didn't have any conversations with Epstein when he was there. And he said, you know, listen, it's really the only place I could have stayed at. Dude, you're the prince at that time. You couldn't hit up a Motel 6 down the street and say, yo, Prince is coming in town. Clear the way. We need a room. Nah, I'm going to go stay at his house. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a ton of sense. Black North, thanks for coming, a new YouTube member. I appreciate it. And I have covered data set 3. It is on my channel. You can go to my live streams. I just did it the other day, and I've gone through data set 1. Believe it or not, I kind of screwed up in data set 1. Data set 1 actually has 4 folders. I only went through 1, so we're going to be revisiting all of that. And that video for data set 1, that basically a lot of the new people have come in and you know, found my channel and subscribed to my channel. That video right now has 171,000 views on it. I appreciate all of you for coming in, and I've dropped the link to that video as well. So you can go over and watch that. If you're new to my stream, watch that video. And then just under that in the comment sections, it has all the other 3 data sets that I've gone through. But again, I did make a mistake, and I need to go back to data set 1. So we will do that probably this upcoming week, because there's 3 more folders we haven't gone through. Okay, let's try to get through the rest of this. If you're just coming in, we're watching the second part of the BBC interview with, at the time, Prince Andrew answering questions about Jeffrey Epstein. My first stream that I started today was actually shut down, and I got a copyright strike from the BBC. So I'm hoping we can get through the rest of this, and this one can at least post. And I'm fighting to get my first stream back. So please, first time over here, please make sure to subscribe, comment. You can chat along with us. And if you're watching this after it posts, you can leave a comment as well too. All right, let's try to get through the rest of this. We got about another 10 minutes. I think we can do it. And I am going to keep fighting for that stream to get it back, because it was a great stream, and it's part 2 to this one.
It's one of the very few photographs there are of us, but that was the case. If there are questions that Ghislaine has to answer, that's her problem. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to be able to comment one way or the other.
When was your last contact with her?
It was earlier this year, funnily enough, in the summer, in the spring, summer.
About what?
Yeah, right.
She was here doing some rally.
So even though he had by then been arrested and was facing charges of sex trafficking?
No. This was early spring, I think. It was long, because when was he arrested?
July.
No, it was before July.
And that was the last time?
Yeah.
Did you discuss Epstein at all then?
No, actually, funnily enough, no, not at all.
No.
There wasn't anything to discuss about him, because he wasn't in the news. It wasn't, it was just, we moved on.
I want to talk about moving on now.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Epstein is dead.
Yes.
The women are now being heard.
Quite rightly.
How do you move on from this?
Well, it's an interesting way of putting it. I'm carrying on with what I do. I have a number of things that I have been doing since 2011. They're pretty well organized, pretty successful, and so I'm carrying on and trying to improve those things that I'm already doing.
I wonder what effect all this has had on your close family. You've got daughters of your own.
It has been what I would describe as a constant sore in the family.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't have got involved with this fucking guy. How about that? How about, like, listen, when you get around someone, okay, and you kind of start to spend some time with them, you tend to figure out who they are. And you have the moral decision at that point, like, hey, you know, it usually takes 1 or 2 times, 3 times, someone that you're new with to kind of figure out what kind of person they are, okay? So You go and hang out with this guy, and obviously you're involved in a lot of the criminal things that he was doing. So that basically tells us that you have this same criminal path as well, and you just feel the need that, well, I'm this type of person, the elite, that no one's going to stop us. And then this guy probably gets in your ear and starts getting the fantasies in there, and you roll with it. And you just have this fucking shield that you put over you, like no one's going to ever find out that we're doing this. And you're just acting like, oh, I'm above society. No law is ever going to catch us. We're just going to fly all over the world to all these private houses, mansions and his island. And we'll do all this nefarious shit to underage girls, and we're never going to get caught. So that tells me that you had this criminal element inside your mind, but you just needed something to trigger it. And that was the guy. Epstein was the guy for you. Okay. But for me, if I'm hanging out with someone new and I'm starting to pick up on some weird vibes of shit that I don't want to get involved in, sorry, don't need to hang out with you anymore. Probably going to sever this relationship. I don't go to his house in 2010 and say, hey, can we take a walk in Central Park and talk about a few things here? That's probably not going to happen. If I start seeing some questionable people in someone's house that may, and I don't have it verified, may look underage, time to go. Sorry, maybe call some authorities, get the police involved. Hey, I saw some sketchy shit. But nope, you jumped right in and you wanted to take part of it. All right, let's go.
We all knew him. And I think that if we have a conversation about it, we're all left with the same thing of what on earth happened. Well, how did he get to where he was? What did he do? How did he do it? And so it's just a constant sort of gnaw. I mean, this first came out in 2011, and it was a surprise to all of us because the photographs were published at a separate time to when I was there. And it was sort of a question about what's going on. And as a family, we discussed it. And then in 2015, when the allegations were made in the deposition, there was a sort of, this is the immediate family, not the wider family. The wider family couldn't be more supportive. But the immediate family, it was, well, what's all this about? And we all just, we're at a loss. So it's just.
Has the episode been damaging to the royal family, to Her Majesty the Queen?
Well, yeah.
I don't believe it's been damaging to the Queen at all. Has to me, and it's been a constant drip, if you see what I mean, in the background that people want to know.
I mean, as it should. You're hanging out with a convicted pedophiler. The guy was convicted, and you're still hanging out with him. It should be a constant drip. There should be something that tails behind you like tin cans with a rope attached around your leg clacking as you walk. I mean, you're hanging out with someone that was trafficking women and young girls, underage girls. It should be a fucking gnaw on your back.
If I was in a position to be able to answer all these questions in a way that gave sensible answers, other than the ones that I've given that gave closure, I'd love it. But I'm afraid I can't. I'm just not in a position to do so because I'm just as much in the dark as many people.
How do you reconnect with the public then now?
But exactly what I'm doing, which is to use and to continue to work with Pitch, to continue to work with IDEA and the things that I believe strongly in. I'm not somebody who does things in competition with people. Oddly, I do things in collaboration with people. Right. So I want people to
collaborated with the wrong guy.
To work together, to come to, as it were, a solution to a bigger problem. And so I got a number of people working together, particularly in the education field, particularly and also in areas of government and what they are doing, so that we're bringing everybody together, so that we're all pushing in the same direction. An IDEA now does that. We've been going properly now for 2 years. We've got 3.5 million people who've got a badge. We've got 500,000, or just over 500,000 young people who are using the service. And I'm trying to think what else we've got, but it's well, it's designed for 7 to 14-year-olds in the United Kingdom, and it turns out it's done from 5 to 95 around the world. So it's being done in 100 countries now.
Hit him again. Come on, do it. Hit him again. Hit him with another good one that he can't run away from because he's trying to circle the wagon here. He's trying to get away. Let's see what she asks him next.
So we're slightly on the catch up with this one.
I know we have to bring this to a
No,
close because we're running out of time.
No, we got to go.
You've faced questions today on a very, very raw subject. There has never been an interview like this before. I wonder what that tells us about the way the royal family now confronts these difficult situations. Has there been a sea change?
I think that the problem that we face in the 21st century is social media. There is a whole range of things that you face now that you didn't face.
Oh, I know. He doesn't like social media. You're hearing it right here. There's a lot of things that you're going to face because you know why? People get a hold of stories or photographs or video, and guess what? That shit goes viral, and he don't like it. You know, he's just thinking, well, that damn social media got me this time, didn't it? Didn't it?
25 years ago, because it was just the print media. And I think that to some extent, there is a thick skin that you have to have. And again, I'm not a confrontationalist myself. I would prefer to be able to, as it were, resolve things in a way that is sensible. And so choosing to, as it were, get out there and talk about these things,
right.
It's almost a mental health issue to some extent for me, in the sense that it's been nagging.
It's got me again. Are we back? Oh, we're back. Look at that. We got it. We got it back. Look at. We were at the end. We were almost at the end. We almost got to the end. I'm not gonna finish because I think they're gonna block the stream. But we were literally at the end. We have another 3 minutes to go, and we need to wrap this one up. But they gave me the stream back. I think they're gonna block it though. It's once it posts, it's probably gonna get blocked. But look I appreciate all of your support here today, and I'm trying to make a difference in this and talk about this. It needs to be talked about. Unfortunately, the stream's probably going to get lost. They're probably going to block it, and I'm going to have to fight it and try to get it back. I wanted to finish, and I was like so close. We were so close to finishing. But if I continue, they're going to shut me down. They're going to shut me down. So that's it. That is it. But we're going to keep going through this. I'm not going to let this stuff slip. We're going to keep going through these videos. I'm going to keep trying. And we're going to get these back. My next stream is going to be on Sunday, probably sometime before the Super Bowl, because I think the Super Bowl was start at 6 o'clock. So I think that's the time. Or is it later? What time does it start? 6? Let's see. I think it's 6. Or all the pregame stuff is 6. It starts at 6:30. So we're going to have a stream before that. I think Nan is going to join me on Sunday, and we're going to go through some of the Jeffrey Epstein depositions. If you haven't met Nan, she's an attorney. She's been on my channel numerous amounts of times, and she's phenomenal. She's awesome. I always love her insight and her expertise. So if we can make that happen on Sunday, we're going to do that. But probably going to lose this stream. I'm going to try to fight to get it back and get it posted. But anyway, I appreciate everybody hanging out. I have dinner at 5 o'clock at Mom's house tonight, so I'm going to head off here in a minute. It's Friday night tacos over at her house, so we're going to hang out and have some good Mexican food and chill and talk. So listen, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of you, all the new people that have come into the channel. Please go over and check out my catalog of the Epstein files, and I have that starting on this page on my homepage. You can go in there, and it's under the Disturbing Epstein Files folder, and you can get all of my live streams that are in there, all my videos, and I'm working on an amazing video right now that should be up in a couple days to a week, and it is going to be kind of like a basic 101 to the Epstein files, like how to go through them, how to access them, and what's in those files, and the correct way to talk about this stuff, to honor the victims and do it in a respectful way. And that's something that I've always done here on this channel. And to keep talking about this, because this is information that people need to know about, and everybody should be talking about this. And I talked about this earlier in my stream today. I don't care if you are the president of the United States, or you're a powerful CEO, or you're a head of a company, or whatever it is. If your name is in and implicated in the Epstein files and has strong ties to possible crimes that you were involved in, you need to be held accountable. There is no excuse for this. This ranges many, many, many victims, impacted so many lives. Okay. And questions need to be answered. People need to be brought up on charges. And this can never happen again, because if this slips through the cracks, if the government does not fully prosecute all of these people, I don't fucking care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you're not being prosecuted for this, what you are telling society as a whole is, we accept this. We're okay with it. And that allows the next monster out there to do this, or the next monster out there to continue to do stuff like this. So that's going to be it for this live stream. I hope that this one does post, but they're probably gonna nail it. And I'm gonna work on trying getting the first one back. So thank you all for watching here today. I hope that you found this very educational. I'm going to continue to do deep dives into the people and the allegations against the people that are mentioned in the Epstein files. And I want to educate people. I want people to know about this, because it's a very important thing that's going on in our society. And the thing is that there are a lot of minor children that have been affected by this, minor girls that have been affected by this, and their innocence are taken forever. And I don't want to see people ever have to go through something like this ever again. There needs to be strong laws and restrictions in place that this cannot happen again. And it starts with our government. If there's people that are involved in our fucking government that are doing this, they need to go, and they need to go to prison, and we need to get those people out of our society. So I appreciate all of you. If this is the first time over here, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and come back and just look out for my live streams here. You can follow me all on my social media accounts. It'll post there, or you can just find me, go to my homepage, and start accessing content there. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out for the evening. I will be back sometime on Sunday to go through some of the depositions and hopefully be able to do that with Nan. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Have a great day. Take care. Peace.